So we're back at it again. Second chess session of the week. Off we go. So today is actually a public holiday, and it brings up an interesting topic about what running a business is actually like. So I think there's a big misconception when you have a job and you work a 9 to 5. You look at people running a business and you're like, oh wow, they get to choose their own hours and wake up whenever they want. And I mean, that's kind of true, but the reality is you leave your 9 to 5 8-hour job and you gain a 24/7 job. For example, overnight I had support tickets coming in. I've got my co-founders in Europe, so in kind of the completely different opposite time zone. So there's things happening with him, things happening with support, and then when I'm awake, he's then asleep. So I've got all these things going on. I'm sending him stuff to look at when he wakes up. And then even on a public holiday, there's things happening. People will have free time today, and so there'll be more activity on our platform than usual, and there'll be support tickets and things coming in that I kind of have to look at. And then there's been plenty of times where I have to work at night, work through weekends, I even work still when we go away on any holidays. So later in August we'll be going away. I'll likely be working while we're away. So it's not as easy as you think. Like, if you think starting a business means you'll get to do less work, no, you get to do more. The difference is, though, and it's kind of hard to explain or kind of hard to understand when you haven't done it, but usually, and I can't speak for everyone, but when I start a business, it's because it's something I'm really passionate about. So when I say to people, oh, I'm going to be working today, they think, oh, too bad, you got to work on your holiday, you got to work on the weekend or whatever. But to me, I'm working on something I'm really into. I really enjoy it. So to me, it's like, what are you talking about? That's like awesome. I can't wait to go and do it. And so I think if you want to start a business, you really need to be in love with or enjoy the process of starting a business. The goal isn't to get heaps of money or whatever your kind of surface level goal is. The main goal is to have freedom over your time, have freedom in life to kind of do whatever you want. Like right now, I could go work wherever I want, whenever I want, because it's up to me. So we could decide, you know what, we're going to go live in Europe for the next 6 months. Not a problem. Bring my laptop. I can work in Europe for the next 6 months. Or I might even decide, you know what, this week, like I just can't do it. I've had it. So I could take the entire week off if I wanted. I never would. But it's one of those things when you know you have the choice of doing it if you want. That's the freedom. Not that you're going to use that freedom, but the fact you've got that freedom is what's kind of like a mental load off in a way. So that's why when Sunday comes around and it's Monday the next day, I'm like, can't wait, because I'm like, yeah, the weekend's good. I get to do some kind of leisure activities, hang out with the family and stuff more. But to be honest, I work at home every day. So I get to see my wife and kids way more than most people who have a job they have to go to. So every time I come out for a coffee, the boys are there. I get to play with them, have a laugh, see my wife, and then back to work. And so I've got to see a lot of the kind of big moments of my kids growing up, because I'm simply just down the hall if something's happening that's exciting. So those are the kind of freedoms of running your own business, which are cool, but it does come at the big cost of it's down to you. You're on the hook 24/7. But I still love it. So the gym car park is dead, which is what I like to see, because it means I can go in there, do my workout uninterrupted. No one's going to bother me, and it's going to be a good session. So let's get in there and see what's going on. Hopefully I haven't put it on time lapse or slow-mo again. Not ideal. Alright, we've done it. Did the session. Went pretty well, which is good on this public holiday. Whoops, there's a car behind me. So, back home. What is this car doing? Thank you. So off back home, got a lot of stuff to get done today. So like I was saying, even though it's a public holiday, the fun don't stop. But really, once you're doing your own business, days are kind of, it doesn't really matter what day of the week it is. Could be a Wednesday, could be a Sunday. You stop, or I have anyway, I've stopped marking my weeks by, there's a week and then the weekend. And then then I go to work for the week, but then there's a weekend. Now it's kind of flipped, like I really look forward to the start of the week. But that's just me, and I think there's people out there who feel like there's pressure to start a business, or pressure to kind of be doing more than what they're doing. But honestly, it's definitely not for everyone. Like, I only do it because I love the process. Whether it like makes me millions of dollars or makes me just thousands of dollars, I'd still do it either way, because it's just, I find it really fun. Whereas other people would look at what I'm doing like, it's a public holiday and you're going to be dealing with support tickets, and it's like, yeah, I'm helping out customers on my business, enable them to use all the features I've built and all the hard work I've put in. Like, of course I would. Or like, you're just like, you're doing paid ads and stuff, isn't that so boring? And it's like, well, if that's your job, is running paid ads for other people's businesses, then maybe you'd find that boring. I personally wouldn't. But when you're doing these things, building your own, it's hard to explain, but building your own business, building your own empire, it's just awesome. Like, it's kind of really hard to explain, but in our society, where we're obviously a capitalist society, which I know some people are very against, but I'm 100% for. Like, I think it's an amazing setup that enables anyone to do anything that they want. And that's true with me. I moved to Australia when I was 22, had barely any money, and I was able to come here get a job after, took me about 4 months. That's a whole other story. And then I was able to, make money through a job, get experience in a career. And now in Australia, I've run like four different startups, maybe 5 actually. And the system was set up to enable me to do that. All I needed was my computer and my skills that I'd learned. And that's the beauty of it, is everyone has these skills to create a business. And often, and I can't help myself, but when I meet someone and I find out what they do, and maybe like they're a plumber, or they're a graphic artist, or they build websites, or whatever it might be, my mind always thinks, if I had to become that person right now, how would I create a business out of that skill? And so often there's like an easy way of creating a business where it's no longer you just going to a job and trading time for money. It's like you like to design things. Well, you could start a design agency. And for a lot of people, they're like, no, that ain't for me. I'd rather just go to my job, get paid, go home. And that's perfectly fine for people who want to do that. But for me, I've done that in the past as a software developer. Go to my 9 to 5, get paid, go home, live my life. But that wasn't a setup that worked for me. I'd rather living my life be the 100% of the time, where I hang with my family, I get to see my kids grow up, but I'm also building my own business at the same time. And it's all interwoven. I think the work-life balance thing is just weird to me, because it's setting the frame that work is a negative thing and it puts you out of balance, so you have to balance it. Whereas I'd rather view it as, no, the thing I do for work is what I love to do, and also my family and the rest of my life is what I love to do. So the whole thing is just, there is nothing to balance. It just is what it is. But on that philosophical note, just got home. Remember, work on high leverage activities, and if you're relaxing today because it's a public holiday, work on a high leverage relaxation activity. So on that note, get after it.